The word that comes to mind as I look out in front of me to a sea of New England's most concerned and compassionate citizens is conscience. When I look to the people on the stage with me, I see conscience, but above all, I see courage. I can't express how humbling it is to be in the presence of so much courage. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sharing a stage, and we are sharing a day with men and women of the United States military, active duty soldiers and veterans, who are actively building a movement of conscience from within the ranks of the United States military. Please join me in recognizing the courage and sacrifice of these men and women, and of one gentleman in particular, whom I am honored to know. Please join me in celebrating the safe return from Iraq of a soldier who refused to fight, Specialist Eli Israel. Thank you. As I applaud with my hands and with my heart, my mind stays firm in knowing that courage and conscience are not enough. Courage and conscience are merely the wind, and the wind will only propel us if we capture it with a sail, the sail of organization. Iraq Veterans Against the War is harnessing our wealth of courage and conscience with bold and energetic organization. And we hope to serve as an example that of how people can directly obstruct the machinery of war and profit that has consumed our government.
Yes!
But even organized and courageous people of conscience will be useless in dismantling this machinery if we do not bring and share a certain level of understanding. It is necessary to understand that the only reason there are boots on the ground in Iraq is because there is oil under the ground in Iraq. If we choose to wait for politicians to defund this war, we will be waiting until the last barrel of crude has been pumped from Iraq's wells. We must understand the system of government which we have to secure our rights, to remedy our grievances, has failed us. Our government has failed humanity. Our checks and balances are broken promises at best, and our alleged opposition party is a myth. We must arm ourselves with the understanding that protests offer little solace to the people of Iraq. It is right to protest to express our deep disappointment and outrage, but to expect protest alone to end an illegal occupation or fundamentally change our society is bluntly unrealistic. Our solution as Iraq Veterans Against the War is to understand that this war will end not through an act of Congress, but through an organized and collective act of conscience. The next president will not remove the troops from the mission. The troops will remove themselves from the president's mission.
Yeah!
The war will end when there is a strong and organized GI resistance movement and our military stops fighting illegal war. Making this happen, this is mostly our job, but our job together as people is to know that this country will be a just place to live when people organize to remove their support from a government that values oil over life and profits over people. Make today the day that you grow from a protester to an organizer. I know, organizer is not a glamorous word, but organizer and leader are synonymous. We need to become leaders. We need to become leaders with courage, with conscience, with organization, and with understanding, because we have not elected one in my lifetime. Thank you. Warm New England welcome for Eli Israel, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you for letting me know and giving me support to know that I was not alone when I was in Iraq and when I was sitting in a brig in Kuwait. Thank you. I appreciate that. I wish that I could say in completion that I did refuse to fight, but unfortunately I ran 272 combat missions in Iraq. And for that, and to the Iraqi people, I am sorry. And I apologize. El-Afu, Afwan. Assalamu alaikum. Alhamdulillah. I'm sorry. Forgive me. Peace. Shalom to my Jewish friends. When are we going to come together and realize I went over there thinking that all the Muslims wanted to kill me, and I found out they all thought I wanted to kill them. I joined the military thinking that I was going to serve, and I found out I was a slave. I went to Iraq thinking I was going to fight insurgents, and I found out I was fighting the Iraqi people. This has to stop. And the best way it's going to stop is for the soldiers that are inside to realize that it is okay to say no, that it is okay to use conviction, that the oath that we took to military service was an oath to use moral conviction. It was not an oath that freed us from using it. The military wants to convince us that we are the problem. They want us to think that, I'm suffering, I'm messed up in the head. I've got PTSD. Well, you know what? PTSD, we're going to have a whole nation of PTSD before this is over with. Because PTSD is the guilt that comes from trying to reconcile up here what has never been reconciled in here. Thank you.